Shabbat Shalom. How are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are having a great Sabbath wherever you are located in the world. You want to celebrate Sabbath? I hope that you're having a wonderful Saturday wherever you are located in the world, unless it's Friday. I want to talk about the deception that is rampant in America right now regarding the so-called Black people's support of Kamala Harris. I call her chameleon Harris, since she is one of those few people that can enjoy pretending to be something that they're not, to benefit from the position that is to be gained by being an imposter. It's just very strange to me that we as a people, not myself, but just collectively, people of African descent that reside in America believe. I mean, they're very divided and believe in this sister, so-called sister. It's like, it's kind of funny, but it's really not. It's really sad because I thought that we learned our lesson with Obama. I voted for Obama twice, but we understand this was almost 10 years ago. And I'm a different person now than I was 10 years ago. And I've learned a lot about what America really stands for, what American politics are all about the so-called political system, the so-called election that we all get so divided about every 4 years or so. Yes, my stance on it is radical, but it's based upon history and it's based upon the word. Now, understand, I don't hate anybody. When you start speaking facts and you start especially citing history and citing the word, a lot of times people accuse you of being racist, having hate in your heart. And it's not. I don't hate anybody. I may not trust you based upon your actions of the past, because history does not lie. What a person historically does, what a people historically do, what a country historically endorses, and programs its people to endorse, is what they will continue to be and do and endorse. People very seldom, very rarely will you find a people that change for real. We talk about change a lot, back almost 10 years ago when Obama was, such a great orator. He was talking about change. And they had those posters that had the X-ray colors, that blue and red and black. And you saw his face was looking all stoic, and it changed was written across it. And we was just so touched when every time he spoke during the inaugural, the inauguration, and when he spoke at his campaigns, whatever, he was always so moved. Everybody was crying and boo-hooing, just like at the DNC now. Folks are crying and boo-hooing because whoever is up, and again, Obama, when they were doing this, they were, it was all emotional, because he's a great orator. He knows he has a way with words. Whoever writes a speech or speeches, they're good. I'm a writer. Hats off to you. You're great writers. But people fail to understand, recognize, and realize when your emotions are being played with. And I guess for some Black people, it has been very important to them that they be assimilated totally into the culture that is known as America. It is almost like something that they will be willing to die for. Like they just, I don't know if it's ingrained in them as a child, or somewhere along the line during childhood to adulthood, they developed this insatiable desire, this driven passion to fully assimilate the American culture and to be accepted by the Pharaoh race. And it becomes something that consumes a lot of people of African descent. And I didn't realize how much so that this is the case until this so-called campaign. I am amazed. I am utterly amazed. It's literally like somebody has taken a magic wand and just extended it over the continent of the United States and put everybody under a spell. It really is. It's amazing to me. I'm looking and I'm like, y'all understand witchcraft. You are really, really, really under the spell. And this is not about a person. No. Kamala may be very fun to hang out with if I ever were to want to hang out with her, because I don't have any respect for her, because she's just a deceiving, lying woman. Okay? I can't trust you. She might have 0.0000081226% of African DNA in her bloodline, but she never, ever, ever claimed to be a Black woman, so-called Black woman. She never, ever, ever claimed her African heritage. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If you look at, somebody can go pull every application that Kamala Harris has ever filled out for whatever. I promise you, you won't find that she marked Afro-American, African-American, or Black on any of those applications when they asked for race. And she went to school during the time when they asked that question, they asked the race question heavily. So she had to answer it. There was no, I declined to answer. I don't wish to identify. No, there wasn't any of that 30 years ago. So you had to, are you Black? Are you African American? Are you Caucasian? Are you Asian? Are you Hispanic? Whatever. You had to answer the question. That's not something I put in place, by the way. Except the systemic racism put in place. So get that. But I promise you, any application that Kamala Harris has ever filled out, she never put Black. She never put African American. She never claimed her African heritage. And she didn't claim this one, if we can be real about it. But the so-called president of the United States or vice president, she never claimed to be Black. Even I've never heard her utter it. Now, if you can find it, show it to me. Show it to us. Footage anywhere that she's ever said, I'm a Black woman. I'm a woman of African descent. Even when she went to Ghana, her and her ish husband went to the Ghana coast and shed boo-hoo fake tears about the slave trade. She still didn't claim her heritage. She just, I feel so bad that this happened. So, and you didn't feel bad enough to do anything about it. You didn't feel bad enough to try to rectify it as vice president, when your president that was over you was clearly incapable of leading the country. You could have slipped in and made some decisions that could have helped people of African descent. You could have slipped it in the cut, as we say from New Orleans, if you wanted to do that, but you didn't choose to do that. Why? But yet, every person of African descent, or every so-called Black person in America, seem like they're just so gung-ho about this woman being possibly going to the White House as president, which is already in the White House as vice president. But anyway, the concern I have, more than the fact that she's never claimed her African heritage, so-called, if it is in fact part of her heritage, because it's very likely that it's not, but she never claimed to be of African descent. Number one. Number two, She's never done anything for people of African descent in the country throughout her history, her career in an arena in law enforcement where she could actually have made a difference in the lives of many people of African descent. If she really cared about people of African descent that much, when she was working in law enforcement, when she worked in the district attorney's office, when she was a senator, when she was all of this, she could have really made some decisions that would help people of African descent in America, in California, wherever she was, if she really had the intention to do so. But she didn't. And as a map, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna stay right there. She's never done anything for people of African descent when she had the opportunity to do so. Do you understand me? When her office, the district attorney's office was notified that the people, the company or whatever, that was doing the drug test, that was administering the drug test for many African Americans, you want to call them that, and they falsified these test results to incriminate many people of African descent and cause them to be arrested and incarcerated. And it turned out that they falsified those results. So that means those people were falsely detained, falsely imprisoned. And she refused to do anything to rectify the matter. She refused to do anything to reverse it, to release those people who were falsely detained based upon false drug test results. Simply because she said, we need people to go out there and fight the forest fires in California. So she was saying, we need you Negroes to go out there and fight the fires that firefighters can't or won't fight for practically free. So no, I'm not going to release you because we need slaves. That's basically what she was saying. Oh, well, I didn't know, she has this thing where she says, well, I didn't know that this was that and that was this, and I didn't know this was going on. But when she found out, she did nothing to try to rectify the matter. She did nothing to try to fix it and make it right. And she was so down for people of African descent. Plus, she incarcerated buku people, buku mothers, for their children being truant. Instead of going into the homes and saying, hey, your child hasn't been to school in 2 months. What can we do to help your child become non-truant? What's going on in the home that's causing your child not to go to school? And a lot of times these mothers will not even know that their children were not going to school, or skipping classes, until a truant officer shows up at the door with and eventually she's arrested and the family is torn apart. And Kamala, Chameleon, has gone on camera and said, I didn't know when I set up that law that it would cause the incarceration of so many people. But yet again, even though she didn't know, she didn't do anything to try to fix it either. But she's a Black woman, so-called. Again, an opportunity where she had a chance to do something for her people. She went to Howard University, supposedly one of the most prestigious historically Black colleges in the country. She studied with Black sisters. She joined Black sororities. Ski-wee. That's supposed to be so community-minded and trying to help the community and help people. But she did not do any of that. Once she got her degree, once she got her street cred, for a lot of you, a degree from an HBCU is all that's needed to prove that you're Black and that you're down for Black people. Power to the people. That's all that's needed. Never mind what was learned at that HBCU. Never mind a whole lot. So I could get into that, excuse me, but that's another video for another day, and I've done a video on HBCUs already. Okay? She had a chance to take those skills that she learned, the culture that she learned at Howard University, she's had a chance to take all of that she learned and was exposed to around people of African descent in Washington, D.C., where there's nothing for us. And she had a chance to address very real issues and very real needs of the Black community, and she never did. She never did. Do your homework, do your research. That woman has never done anything for people of African descent. History does not lie. And guess what? When she hasn't done anything since she's vice president. And she doesn't have the intention to do anything as president. Excuse me. All you have to do is your research and your homework. The thing that bothers me about my people being so gullible, it's not just with Kamala Harris. She did the same thing with Barack. Huh? And you do the same thing with a lot of people who claim to be Black or who are actually Black, but they don't have a heart for the Black people, and they don't have a history of trying to help out Black people. Not one. Not any type of nothing. And what bothers me is that so many of my people, right? So many of our people, my people, we're so eager to accept anything and anyone into our culture just because they can identify with experiences within our culture. Okay, just because you went to HBCU does not mean you are Black. Just because you went to a rap concert and you enjoyed rap music does not mean that you are Black. Just because, you went to a Black church and whatever, had some experiences, does not mean you are Black. It does not mean a thing. Just because somebody can appreciate different facets of the Black culture or even look the part of a Black person does not mean that they are Black, per se. Or, like I like to say, does not mean that they are descended from Africans. Nor does it mean that they can relate to the experiences and the trauma and the horror and the post-traumatic slave disorder that we experience as a people to this day. You can't relate to that if your people didn't go through the same thing. No, you can't. But our people are so eager to see somebody that look like us be in office of prominence and position, so-called authority, that we're willing to dumb down what it means to be Black, what it means to be us. We're willing to water that down and accept anything and anyone that act the part or look the part or speak the part in Obama's case, but have never done anything for us as a people. And that's the only way you can really identify a real brother or sister, is what have they done for the people? Do you remember Brother Fred Hampton? You remember what he used to always say? I'm going to die for the people. I'm going to love the people. I live, breathe, and eat for the people. I don't care what country you reside in. I don't care what form of government you practice. If you have people in your government that ain't never done anything for the people, don't have a heart for the people, don't care about the plight of the people, don't have a history of helping the people, you better not trust them. I don't care if they look like me, talk like us, or love our culture. Stop, don't trust them, because that means that they are plants. And they don't have the intention of doing anything for people of African descent. and they are dangerous. And it's terrifying to me. Well, so many brothers and sisters are drinking the Kool-Aid of accepting anything and everyone into the culture and say that's representing us and they're going to help us when they don't have a history of doing anything for us. That's the thing that's scary to me. Why is that, my people? You don't have an expectation that you deserve to be represented properly? That you deserve to be governed properly? You don't have an expectation? You don't believe that's a human right? What's wrong with you? It's insanity. And it's crazy because how you keep doing it? Insanity. You know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. If I keep beating my head against this wall, I'm going to have some fractures and I'm going to have something that's going to get bloody. But you keep doing it. And then talk about my head hurts. Yeah, your head is going to hurt because you keep hitting your head against the wall. What's wrong with you, my people? We did the same thing with Obama. We just get so, a black president, you'll be the very fine president. Oh my God, it's going to get rid of racism. Oh my God, we're finally going to get represented. Oh, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to have this, and everything will be wonderful and perfect. And it didn't do anything. We voted for him twice, just based upon this. First term went, he hasn't done nothing for us. And some of us would like say, bruh, something wrong here. But some of us were led by our emotions and we voted based upon our emotions. Huh? Because we really believe, just give him time. He can't do this and he can't do that. He never had the intention to do it. And they did not intend for him to do it. So basically, he wasn't, and he didn't. And the same thing is going to happen this time around. It's happening now. She was in the White House for 4 years. Biden has not been running the government. That man is senile and has dementia. And if he don't take his meds, and they don't prep that dude up for a good week or two before he talks to anybody, he gonna talk out his head. Why? Because he's old and he's senile and unfit to run the country. So somebody, the vice president, has had an opportunity to show what she can do, even if she hadn't done anything as senator, as the assistant district attorney, or anything else she ever did, or a lawyer, whatever she did before she decided she was going to run for public office at the highest level. She's had the last 4 years to show what she can do. And she's done absolutely nothing. And she said absolutely nothing. I don't understand how it is that a lawyer can say nothing, consistently say nothing. I'm like, I hope she would never represent me. Oh, no, baby. In my New Orleans dialect. Oh, no, baby, she couldn't represent me because she's an idiot. She's a straight idiot. She can't have a coherent thought. She acts like she's drunk or high all the time. She's always laughing. That's the best that we can do, sisters? Come on, we got a lot of intelligent, cogent sisters that have something to say of relevance. And there's a lot of sisters that are lawyers that know how to present an argument. And Kamala Harris is not one of them. Like, I think that when she went through law school, she must have slept her way through law school because she's not a good lawyer. You can hear a good lawyer when you hear them speak. Just people don't like Michelle. Michelle is probably a banging lawyer. Why? Because she knows how to present her arguments. She knows how to talk. She knows how to speak. What does Chameleon Harris know how to do? Dance, go to the cookout. What is that going to do for us as a people, or even the nation? If I could take it there, she's incompetent as heck as a lawyer. She's incompetent. She's proven to be incompetent as a vice president. If she were to be in the White House as the president and have to go before world leaders, think about it. What would a conversation between Kamala Harris and Ibrahim, the brother that's helping Burkina Faso become the nation it was always meant to be? Power to the people, brother. Imagine a conversation between those two. Can you imagine? Like, he would eat her up and he would chew her up, spit her out. She will go home. She will go back to America crying. She will fold it. She will fold. Why? Because she's incompetent as heck. She's incompetent. But we want to say, it's time for a woman to be president. Not this woman. Not Chameleon. She's incompetent. Even her economic plan has so many holes in it. Come on, y'all. We can do better than this. The office of the President of the United States is not an affirmative action office, y'all. It's not an affirmative action position. If we're going to have a brother or a sister in there, let's have a brother and a sister in there that's intelligent, that has something to say, that has relevant agendas to people of every race in America. Not just certain people, not just immigrants. It's somebody that we could send to any nation in the world and be proud to say this person represents America. That can't be said about Kamala Harris. It can't be. Let's be honest. Oh, but you're supposed to stand with the sister. And she's a sister. No. No. Not that sister. Send Sister Soldier. Heck, send Michelle Obama. I don't care what you think, if she's a man or a woman. I don't care about none of that. Y'all be arguing over some irrelevant stuff. You don't have no proof whatsoever. You just doctor up some pictures and say, yeah, Michelle is really Michael. Stop. It's so ignorant. Anyway, but she would be a better president than the Kamala Harris. Michelle said, I ain't doing it. Y'all, I can't do it. And I don't blame her. Anyway, those are my thoughts. And basically, bottom line, Kamala will not be the president of the United States. Period. You guys have a great weekend. Be blessed in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Bye.